Hey, it's James Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. So on YouTube, I got a couple people recently, and I always get these kind of comments about how putting off I am and how harsh I am. Well, let's look back. I've been doing this 24 years, and I've helped thousands of guys win in court. And the only way to win is get on the offensive and go to war. And when a guy is scared to do that, when he wants to please everybody and make anybody happy, and he's too timid or too sensitive, or it hurts his feelings to want to fight the right way, then he's quitting before the battle even starts. It's too hard or it's too rough, or, any life coach deals with people like that. Go Google Dan Pena or Pena, Pena. Google David Goggins. Google, oh gosh, what's that Francesca dude? There's a lot of life coaches out there that are talking about everybody's whining and crying, making excuses for life for not being the best version of themselves. And it's easier than ever to, start a business and all this other stuff. And so we have a soft generation, and everybody agrees that we are softer, and we have softer men, and we've been emasculated. And then we go to court, and I tell guys, these are your options. Outside of that, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're on the path to lose. You're like, well, I don't want to. I want to keep trying to work with what I'm doing. That's a losing route. Why would you do that? Why would you keep eating Twinkies and ding dongs and cupcakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not exercise and wish that you were losing weight? That doesn't work. You have to work hard. You have to sacrifice. You have to have delayed gratification. That's the only way that works. It's the only formula that works. You could either believe me after doing this for 24 years, or you can keep doing your ignorant thing based upon your one single person outlook, listening to an attorney that doesn't even tell you how that's worked or the strategy has worked in the past. I just talked to a guy today. He had no clue what his attorney's strategy was, or no clue why his attorney's doing what he's doing. I said, why is your attorney not doing this? Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What's coming up at the hearing? How's it going to be structured? I don't know. I don't know. How can you possibly have an attorney and you don't know anything coming up? If I'm a quarterback on a football team and I have a coach, the coach has a game plan. We watch film. We plan for the upcoming game. We know the plays that we're going to run. We practice them, and we watch the other team and we simulate it. How do you not know or do a deposition and simulate trial? How do you not investigate what's going to happen on the other side? How do you not do discovery? How do you not interrogate or cross-examine when the entire purpose of going to court is fighting and examining somebody, and you have a tool like a deposition to do it ahead of time, get the answers before the test, and you don't want to do it? The only explanation is you're either lazy, scared, or really unsmart. There's only three explanations for why guys don't fight the right way. And yeah, the system is biased. This is the way that it is. Though it's the way that it is because 99% of guys are pussies and don't want to fight the right way. And then so you guys don't like me calling a spade a spade. But you could watch all of my videos, and if you don't apply it, just like a fat person, you can watch all the diet videos, exercise videos. If you watch exercise videos, it doesn't help you until you actually do what you watch. If you know that, there's times where I've eaten well and I've gotten in shape, and there's times where I know what I should be eating and I just decide not to, and I feel like being a fat slob or being lazy and just being a glutton or whatever. But I'm not going to lie to myself and say, I don't understand why I'm eating, you know, Twinkies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm not losing weight. I don't understand it. I'm lying to myself if I don't understand it. And men are lying to themselves, and they're lying to my face. And I have zero tolerance for it because I want to help guys who want to win and want to fight. And so I turn people off on my page because I tell them what the root of the problem is. And people don't like to hear that. And you know who doesn't like to hear that? Guys who are losing in court and are pussy ass bitches. Now, let's look at my most popular video on my YouTube channel. It has 95,000 views. It's the number one argument for 50-50. 95,000 people have watched that. About 30 people have called me and mentioned that video and said, I was really inspired by that video. I need your help. So me being nice in that video, and I'm kind of professional and nice the whole video, it doesn't do any good. The first 5 or 7 years when I would talk in consults and tell people, oh, it's okay, and I was trying to placate to their fears and all this other stuff. All the guys just want to whine, cry, piss, and moan. They don't want to grow balls. That gets exhausting. If your kids don't want to clean their room and they say, I can't, it's too hard, they don't want to get up, they don't want to do chores. At some point, you have zero tolerance for a child or a kid not doing something that they're capable of doing. You don't baby a kid at age. You teach them how to make their bed at age 5 or 6 or 7, and then at age 9, they're like they forgot how to do it, or they have an excuse not to do it, or they eat the cookies before dinner, and then they got chocolate all over their face, and they're saying I didn't eat the cookies, and then they do it again, and they lie to your face. You at some point you have zero tolerance for children acting like children. I have zero tolerance for pussy ass bitches whining and crying and saying, I wish the court system was different. I wish my baby's mom wouldn't fight. I wish the opposing attorney would go away. Why don't they work with me? You're in a war. Wake the F up to reality. Get on the offensive. If you don't want to do it, then go ahead and lose. And if you don't like me predicting that you're going to lose and then you turn around and lose, so many people watch my videos and gotten offended or got pissed off at me or hated me at first. And then after running through 2 or 3 attorneys, they get a hold of me and they're like, you were right. I should not have done that. Or I took the pussy route, or I took the quitter route, or I trusted my attorney. And I watched you and I thought you were an a-hole because I didn't like it, because I had to put some effort in. Or I had to tell people I'm not going to tolerate the route that and see the reason why I talk the way that I talk, the route that I took the hard route. If you want to get in shape and be an athlete and be lean or prepare for a bodybuilding contest, or even if you want to prepare for a job, there's 100 people competing for 3 jobs at a corporation that you want. If you study a lot harder than them and study, I don't know, the company, or you want to be a salesman for a company, you study their typical sales pitches or their products, and somebody else doesn't, you're going to be ahead of the game. You have to put effort into everything in life. But for some reason, my gender turns into a bunch of sissy little cowards and doesn't put effort in their family law case because they want to pay an attorney to make it all go away. They think because they pay an attorney $400 an hour that automatically gives them a good result. But like I said in a previous video that I just did, the mother is coming to court and being cutthroat and lying about you and destroying your life with your kids. You're on supervised visitation. You only have every other weekend. You're an equal parent. Your kids need you equally. The law says you're equal. Like, look at California Family Code 3020B. We want frequent and continuing contact between parents. How come you're in California, you're not getting that? Texas Family Code 153.001, frequent and continuing contact. Washington, RCW 2609002. The best interest of the child is normally served when the existing pattern interaction continues. If you were doing 50-50, or if you were living with the other parent, the existing pattern interaction is 100%. So when you're split up, what's the next closest thing to the existing pattern interaction? It's 50-50. But some of you bum-ass, retarded losers don't even want to read the law. You're so traumatized by your court case, you can't even look at the law and think, I want to read the law and know the law and light a fire under my attorney and make them do their job. And in a lot of states, I have links to the laws and people have been watching me and don't go look at the laws. When I was starting off my case, I searched high and low for answers and they were almost non-existent. I'm giving you answers and feeding you free stuff and free information that I never got. And you're still whining and crying and pissing and moaning. You're like a Kardashian that's saying, oh, it's so hard to get up early in the morning and I have to grind and work to earn this money. You've already been given a whole stash of money to start your platform. You got a $10 million head start from the average kid. And you're whining and crying how hard it is? You know, when I was doing my stuff, the internet was barely out there. A lot of you guys can search case law, or in some states like Wisconsin, when you look up the law, there's case law right there for you to be making arguments. It's way easier to represent yourself than ever before. Or to light a fire under your attorney. And like I said in my last video, a lot of people say, well, I can't talk to my attorney that way to do his job, then he'll quit. Then he was a traitor from the beginning. You F-tard. You are your own worst enemy because you want to work with a traitor. You see why I get frustrated? You see why I talk the way that I talk? I'm weeding out all the pussies who never will grow some balls and never will try and fight right in their case. And that's fine by me if people don't like me. But you look like a pussy when you're whining that I'm telling guys to grow some balls and fight. Don't be a pussy.